you're just as like twisted as me, but it's like there's weirdos out there who are like, I want to take the biggest risk I can.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, what is the purpose of life? It's like you work to make money to, like you said, enjoy 2 days off. And that's fine. If people are comfortable with that, then so be it. But it's like, okay, but what happens if you want $100 million? Like, what do you do with your life? Like,
For sure.
all you're going to do is use that money to go do the things you love to do. So I'm like, why wait for $100 million? Like, maybe I can't do the $100 million thing I want to do right now, but like, there's got to be some $5, $20, $100,000 things that I want to do. And like,
For sure.
why, like you said, suppress that? It's like crazy to think about. And I almost feel like you create the life you want to live.
Hi, Ashamad.
What's up?
Thanks
What's
for
up?
coming on. She Comes with Baggage. This is so exciting to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. The vibes are immaculate.
Thank
I can't lie.
Thank you. I designed it myself. No,
I believe it.
Very lesbian vibes posting up the wood over back here. No. So we met actually at, was it a TikTok conference, TikTok Summit?
It was a TikTok event,
Not too long ago, I guess a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't tell you this, but I used to be way, way, way more extroverted, but I don't know what happened to me. I don't know if it was age or COVID or what, but like over the years, I've become more introverted.
Fair.
But I have this thing when I'm in like busy spaces where I have a move where I like slowly back into someone and then I turn and I'm like, oh, sorry. I was like, oh, my name is Kirsty, by the way.
No way.
And I did that to you and it worked. And now we're friends. Like
That's insane. So the lore is still crazy, but it's like slightly less crazy because I was like, how does she bump into me at a random TikTok event? We introduced each other and then literally you told me you stayed in Hollywood and I was like, oh, I'm actually filming a project in Hollywood. You want to shoot tomorrow?
Yeah.
And
Wait,
so
that was crazy.
The lore is still crazy, but it actually no, it's more crazy.
It was very serendipitous is what we say.
For sure.
But it was funny because when we met up for that collaboration, still to this day, you taught me cooked, like the slang cooked. And I've been saying it nonstop. It's like my new favorite word right now. I'm like, I'm cooked. I can't do it today.
That's fire. That's fire. We need #cook on the description of this video.
If we
sure.
do, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put #cooked right there. I would love to learn, are you from Los Angeles? Where are you from originally?
Yes and no. So like I was born in like LA County.
Okay.
But my dad was military. So he's actually stationed in Coronado in San Diego.
Okay.
So I like grew up in San Diego. Then I ended up living like in the valley and like, or not the valley, but like Inland Empire in between like LA and San Diego.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at now. But I'm in LA often. Like I have family in LA.
Okay.
So like yes and no.
Yeah.
Just like Cali baby.
West
all over
West
Cali.
Coast
yeah,
for
West
sure.
Coast Cali baby for sure.
So was that always a part of your creative background, your personality, like being a West Coast born and raised?
So funny enough, I feel like just in general, I'm like, I don't want to be like, I'm so well-rounded, but but like just being honest, it's like my mom is like West Coast, born in Pomona. My dad's from Atlanta. And so like I did like all sports team, I'm like Atlanta everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like I did kind of get like Atlanta and California are kind of like near to my heart, like in more ways than one from like the music I like the styles that I'm into. So
I love that.
Atlanta and California, if you could like mix that.
Put them together?
That's
me.
me.
I did my stalking of you and I love your videos, by the way. I mean, you're all over social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all the things. But I saw one of your YouTube videos where you were doing a little video with your nephews. Yeah. You're pretty close with your family or?
Yeah, 100%.
What's your family life like?
So I have one sister. She has 4 kids.
Okay.
And we're 7 years apart. And I have no kids. So it's like I live vicariously through her.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for kids. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, but I got like 4 of them whenever I need them. And they're all kind of spread out. So it's like, we feeling like 4 to 5-year-old today. Do I want to take the 13-year? I can get a little rough with the 13-year-old, you know what I mean?
It's totally different vibes, right?
Yeah, totally different vibes. So yeah, definitely family dynamic. Pretty big. Like I said, my dad was military.
Yeah.
So he was like in my life for sure and active. And like I have a great relationship with him.
Okay.
But even that dynamic, him being in the military, having my mom and then just the one sibling and then the 4 kids. So it's like tight knit.
Yeah.
But for sure, like, yeah, family is huge for me. Yeah.
I love that. My sister, my youngest sister is like, we call her the American dream sister because she's like the nurse who married the accountant. She has the dog and 2 kids now. Yeah. And I'm over here like
I'm a wild child, baby.
Yeah. I'm like the outcast, I guess, in a way, living in Los Angeles. But same. It's like, that is I go and hang out with my nieces when I can see them. And I was like, that's my little kid fix. You know what I mean? I'm like, when you started your content creation path, you were originally doing a 9-to-5, correct?
Yeah.
What were you doing before? And then how did you end up getting into content creation?
So like for me, like TikTok, I think TikTok was like the gateway for a lot of people.
Okay, yeah.
So I had a friend actually who did like custom sneakers.
Okay.
And so he got invited to a TikTok Halloween party. And he was like, yo, bro, I don't want to go by myself. So I went with him and we like pulled up to the TikTok Halloween party.
Okay.
And like I'll never forget, it was in like 2019. And I saw Summer Rae in like the first 2 seconds. I was like, oh, it's over with. I was like, I don't know what this app is. I was like, I'm here. I'm doing this. Like, I need to get on it. And so from that point, it started with like random, just kind of like diving into the culture of TikTok. Actually started in music. So then that's where kind of got my wheels turned of like, okay, I could probably like try to do this and promote music. And then at the time I was managing a lid store, which is like a hat store, go figure. I think it was probably like around 2020. I was like, I want to be more consistent, but I'm like, I'm working 40 hours a week. So I was like, okay, like make videos at home, make videos at work. So there's actually an embroidery machine like in most lid stores. So I did like a video on the machine and people just loved it. I didn't think much of it. I was just like, I'm just trying to make a video. And then from that point I started making videos in the store. And then it just kind of scaled out from there. I got my own machine, left, kind of like built out from there. So, but yeah, I worked at Lids full time, and then kind of transitioned into like the hat guy.
It's kind of like it's kind of perfect segue in a way, right? You had the introduction to the embroidery machine. You were around the hats, and which that kind of, you're already a creative person anyway. So then that kind of 100%. Just gave you those opportunities to step into TikTok. And I think with TikTok, it's kind of like all things go, right? Whatever you really just want to try doing, you will find your niche, right? Like I saw a video the other day where people were just rating different spoons, and it had like 500,000 views. And I was watching. I watched the whole thing. But I'm like, there's something for everybody on TikTok. So I love that you found that niche, especially because you came from that background, right? With Lids and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually was kind of like seeing how many followers you have across platform. You have around over 1 million now, right?
Give or take.
You're right. So, when you look at the population of a city size, that's like the city of San Jose. That's how many people are following your journey, which I think is so sick, because you started with your 9 to 5 and then you quit. You pursued this content creation career. A whole city are following. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
When you think about it that way, it's just showing the impact that you have
100%.
and like truly showing up authentically as yourself. Which,
I try to remind myself that I feel like when I get, because you know how it is, you get in a creative slump, you post a video, quote unquote, maybe it doesn't perform. It's like you might look at 5K, 10K views and think it's a flop. But like you said, put 5K, 10K people, put 100 people in a room. And it's like, you know what I mean? When you really get out of your head of it, it's like, wow, these are like humans behind these numbers, which is like insane to think about.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, do people come up, do they recognize you now? And,
for sure. I feel like what I do is so niche that like there's a Lids in every mall. So it's like malls normally are like the hot spot. Like, if I go to the mall, like I look like the man, but it's like because there's a Lids at every mall, and I've just made so many videos.
You take your dates to the mall, be like, I got an idea.
Yeah, for sure. Like, hey man, give me $5. Like, hey man, when she walks around this way, just make sure.
That's so funny. What was your family's reaction? Your mom, your dad, what was their reaction when you started pursuing content?
Funny enough, I didn't tell them. So I was fake going to junior college, like straight out of high school. Knew I didn't want to go to college. Graduated at 17, didn't have a car. My mom would like drop me off at the community college. I was enrolled in classes to start with. Didn't show up, got dropped from every class. So like she would drop me off. I'd like the like actual classes are on this side, libraries on this side. That's actually what got me into music, is I like started making beats in the library. So I would like, she'd drop me off, I'd like walk this way. As soon as the car like pulled out, cut left, go straight to the library, and I'd be in there like trying to make, or at first I just like on YouTube. Then I like rewatch like Dragon Ball, like I'm an anime fan, so like rewatch like the original Dragon Ball, just like passing time like for 2 years. Honestly, it's like funny to think about that I like fake went to school for like 2 years. That's hilarious.
It's crazy though, right? Because I mean, the school, education, school, everything it's important, but it's also not necessarily the route that every single person has to take. But still, weirdly, like going to school, it got somehow, you where you need to be.
The facilities, the Wi-Fi was great.
The Wi-Fi. You're like, so actually, go to school, kids.
100%.
Created with a lot of different creators all throughout LA. And one of your collaborations that we met on with Christine and I was a multiple partnership. How do you go about finding people to collaborate with? Are you more selective, or is it more of an energy thing? How do you go about finding that?
Definitely like energy, like just like genuine vibes. Like even the fact we're here, it's like, granted, I didn't know you set me up, but to be fair, I didn't think it would be this though. But that makes me even more like, oh, now I know she's like the same type of person as me, because like I'm mad I didn't come up with that. Like I'm gonna use that.
That's what I'm saying.
Next time I put up this podcast, I'm gonna have a girlfriend with me, and I'm gonna pull that on her.
Listen, we'll do a part 2. Next time you're at a party and you see a girl, Summer Rae, just back into her, be like, oh shit, sorry.
I should have used it on Summer Rae. I just go off of vibes, and I just feel like I'm just like people that I'm naturally, I don't want to say attracted to, because it's not about attraction in like a physical sense, but like whether it's your personality, your energy, your sense of humor, your style. Like if somebody, I think like your style is really cool. I feel like like you kind of just seek out your people, and I just kind of like imagine like, yo, I think we'd vibe out together for sure.
I love that. I feel like that's also one of the good things about Los Angeles is you can really find different kinds of people that really fit your style a lot.
100%.
Whenever, being from Tennessee, there was like no diversity where I'm from. And no one that really looked like me. I was more of a tomboy. I wanted to hang with the boys. I was like always playing football and stuff. But there was never really like a group of girls that I wanted to hang out. It just wasn't that. But here, there's like so many different types of people that I can get along with, whether it's something similar in music or with fashion.
100%.
And I love that. I think that's great. You do a lot of different styles of content that I love watching it. It's so engaging, and honestly, like your personality is like you said, attracted. I am attracted to you as a creator because your personality is truly who you are. Like who you are in person is what you show up as a creator online. I love that about you.
That's the refreshing to hear.
Yeah. No, it's true. Imagine I was like, honestly, in person, it's just not
the switch up is crazy. It's like, just keep it real.
So you literally take blank hats, you toss them in dye, and then you take that, you embroider them, you stitch them with totally different designs every single time. What is that creative process like? How do you come up with these ideas? Like you've done bees, you've done different NFL teams, you've done all kinds of stuff, right? Like,
for sure. Honestly, so when I first did it, I would just honestly just like clickbait. Just trying to get, because there's something about like if you see something white, just change colors to get depth. Or if you spill coffee on somebody's shirt, like it's like you can't stop staring at the stain.
That's true.
And so first I did it like just trying to like engagement hack. And then so I would come up with the ideas, and it kind of evolved to where like people started saying stuff in the comments. So those are one of like my better engaging videos, which has been really cool. So now I kind of open up to the comments. Like I'll pick a color, dye it that color. I normally will split it into 2 parts. So like you said, the B one, like it was a yellow hat. I'm like, yo, what should I stitch on this? And so I kind of give people like a day or two to like spam the comments, and I'll go through like, okay, B's, like that seems kind of cool.
Right.
So that's like one of my more fun series, because it's like, it kind of just like free flowing. It's like whatever, whatever the comments say.
It's so sick. And I think that it's like that creative freedom too, right? I feel like there's not, even in this industry, I think a lot of people don't realize that when you are a content creator, when you're working with brands, a lot of times you don't have as much creative freedom. 100%. But with your style, it's like, it's so sick because you can really see that you come up with every single step of the way. And I love that sometimes you're like, do you like this, or should I just throw it away? And I'm like, no, don't throw it away. It's so sick. It's one of a kind. Do you remember your first ever hat, or even well before you did social media, do you ever remember your first ever, like, even when you worked at Lids, that you were like, oh, this is sick? Like
making a hat? Probably just like from the jump, because that was the thing, like in the interview when I walked, because I was 17, I needed a job. I went to the mall with like a stack of resumes.
Okay.
And I was just walking around, and I walked past the Lids.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, like, I wore hats as a kid, but I wasn't, like, now people label me, like, that's the hat guy. Like, when younger people see me, it's like, oh, it's the hat guy.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny that I have that, like, label on me now.
That's so funny.
But growing up, I mean, I liked hats, but it wasn't, like, crazy. I didn't think I'd, like, make a living off of hats.
You're right.
But with that being said, like, when I first was at Lids, when I did the interview, I remember I could just hear the machine like clacking in the background. And I was like, yo, what's up with that? And he's like, oh, blah, blah. It's like an embroidery machine. And I was like, wait, so like for the whole 8-hour shift, I could just do that? Like not even talk to customers? He was like, I mean, yeah, you could work up to it, but like blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, bet. And the second I got in there, like I was just like asking questions. And so like the first day I was like, yo, like, can I stitch my hat up? Which was super cool. So like,
that's awesome.
Honestly, from the jump, I was just like blasting it up.
That's so cool.
And then, yeah, somehow, some way, like ended up getting my own machine and just kind of going from there.
That's amazing. Honestly, the fact that you have your own machine is just boss level right there.
Like just being a creator and just living in this age with the internet, even down to like connecting with people, finding all these new lanes of ways to make money, like all these jobs that exist that didn't before.
For sure.
To me, like the main thing I take pride in as like a creator, an artist, like any label I really put on thing is just like freedom.
Yeah.
And like freedom of choice of like, the fact that like right now you're a travel creator, but like if for some weird reason you got into fishing, like there's nothing that would stop you from making a fishing series.
No, honestly.
And like monetizing that.
And people will be like, I could get down. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's so random. I think I actually was just watching a podcast with, I think, Kevin Hart, and he was basically talking about how if you have to keep tapping into different ideas 100%. And keep your creativity going, because eventually, no matter what or who you are, creativity will start to stale, right?
100%.
If people will, even if your content is fire, it's like amazing, right? But eventually, people just get used to it. They want to see new things, right? And yourself as well, like, and myself, I feel that way. And I'm always looking at how can I continue to elevate? How can I continue to like try new things? And then the same thing with this podcast. I was like just telling you before that I started this podcast because I know that I don't always feel comfortable on camera or talking.
Which is insane. I never would have guessed that, but I'll take your word for it.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate that truly, because a lot of times people don't see that I stutter behind the screen, and like I overthink a lot of things. So I was like, let me just push myself to do it. And also just telling stories like yours. I think your story is like amazing.
Appreciate it.
But it's kind of like that. Content is really amazing, that it gives you that freedom to really try whatever you want to do. Some days I wake up and I'm like, should I do pottery?
What job do you work where like you can get a raise overnight whenever you want? It's like what you put into it is what you get out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's super freeing. And like for some people, it's not for them. Some people prefer structure. But like for somebody like me, and like it sounds like you're just as like twisted as me, but it's like there's weirdos out there who are like, I want to take the biggest risk I can.
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? And we get a thrill out of that. And I think that's why we thrive. And so it's just really like, it's a canvas to do like whatever. It's like we're creators. Like that's why I love the word. People are always like influencer, content creator. Like I just love the word creator. I don't even like content creator, because it's like I just want to create, whether it's music, clothes, fashion. If I tell a good joke, I might tell it twice. Like creator is just like the most like
it's true.
inspiring word to me for
sure. Well, because also I feel like whenever you're creating something, it usually comes with providing joy for people, right? And I think that that's 100%. What same thing. I mean, influencer, yes, I understand, but I do think that there are differences between just being an influencer and just 100%. Being a content creator, like just being a creative in general. 100%. Music is kind of your background, right? You went to school. Well, you went to school and you were practicing music. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What's the kind of music that you like?
Yeah,
and I saw you do a lot of streaming with music.
Yeah, that's kind of the background of everything. I started making music. Grew up just loving music as a fan.
Yeah.
In high school, I had a friend actually named Joe. And me and him would like record like in our rooms, would like not post anything. So this is like 2012 through like 2015.
Sure.
We kind of messed around on it, and then he actually passed away, unfortunately, in 2016. And after he passed, that was like one of the big switches for me, where I was just like, whoa, like we were so young. And that kind of just really opened my eyes of like, he would always push me of like, let's make videos. Like back then we were on Facebook posting like dumb videos, and like there was not even like revenue streams to really make money back then. It like wasn't as knowledgeable. I think about like the foresight that he had back then of like, he just did it for the joy of it.
Sure.
And then it's like, as he passes and time goes on, I'm like, oh wow, this is a whole business, and this is the stuff that we were like doing for fun.
Yeah.
And so that really put the fire behind me. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do music. I'm gonna do like everything I want to do, because the only thing that's really stopping me is the thought of somebody judging it. So all that to say, that was like when I really doubled down on music and was fake going to college. And so I kind of went from there, and then got into social media, because like it's hard to market music, like it really is, and it's hard to monetize music.
I know there's a lot of good things about social media, and there's a lot of negative connotations about social media, but I do think, especially in music, there is a really high virality to it.
100%.
I mean, but I also know that comes with kind of creating music for TikTok, is what a lot of my friends who are in the music industry, they're like, oh, it's not the kind of music I want to create.
Right.
Do you ever run into that issue, or are you just like, I'm only doing what I want to do, what feels good, and then let the virality come from that?
So that was the thing. So initially it was like making music for the fun of making music, learn how to make music. Then TikTok comes around. Now I'm like, all right, I'm trying to make a TikTok song. And I had like a couple songs that like did okay, but again, it kind of like takes away the passion for it.
Sure.
And then the content started taking off. I went full-time content. So like I just kind of had to focus on what was making money. And now I'm actually in this place now, like you said, with the streaming, like Twitch is like my outlet, or just live streaming in general. It's like, I'm going to make what I want to make.
Yeah.
I don't care if there's 1,000 people, 500 people, 1 people. Like I used to do this in a dark room by myself. But like it, but right now I'm just like falling back in love with just like creating, and just like the craft of like making music has been like awesome.
No, you made a couple good points too about, falling in love with what you're doing. Because I know like for me, traveling is a passion of mine, but eventually it does start to feel like work. So because there's a lot of work that goes into it. A lot of people don't see that there's editing that goes into it.
That's the worst part.
It takes hours upon hours to put and curate really good content, and a lot of people don't see that. They see the finished product, right?
100%.
But I do agree with you. It's finding that balance of how do you stay passionate while also continuing to do the things that make you feel that passion, right? But also monetizing.
100%.
We're our small business owners. At the end of the day, we're our own storefront in a way, right?
100%.
Like people walk by our storefront online and they see and they stick around. I'd love to ask you about community. What does community mean to you? I know you say you do live streaming. Does that feel like the closest community to you across the social platforms? And does it, because you said if it was one person, 100 people, 1,000 people, that's community. Those people come in to listen to you. And
I think for me, like one of the main things that especially like rolling into this year, it's like I feel like you go through these phases as a creator where like first the idea is just like like the idea is just sexy, like, oh yeah, I'd love to be like have money, be famous, get invited, do this, do all this other stuff, and then you kind of just do it with like almost like a hopeless romantic of like, oh, if something happens, then it's like, oh wow, this is kind of working, then it works, then it's a business. So I feel like I'm back in that stage of just like, okay, I've done it, it's been a business, this is my life now. Like you're no longer like dreaming of something, or like obviously there's like more heights that you want to reach, but it's like I'm here, like I do this now. And so going back to just like trying to fall back in love with what I'm doing, my biggest thing is like I refuse to be tied to a niche. Like people know me predominantly now for being a hat creator, but again, like I make sure to do like skits. I posted like a hair video a little while ago and it did pretty good. So now I'm like definitely like getting into like beauty and like skin and like hair stuff. And so, but at the end of the day, community to me is honestly, I'm just like, I just want to post whatever I want. And just find my herd of people. Cause in my brain, it's like, people always say like you need to be like a tight niche, and like I do think that it is beneficial, but I'm kind of more so in the headspace of like if you like fashion, you like music, if you like music, you like games, if you like games, you like food, probably like travel. So I'm like, I think there is crossroads, and so luckily I feel like I've set my business up into a way where like I make sure that like I might not be able to do all the things that I want to do at once, but I always make sure there's a buffer of like I can do this random left field thing and it's not gonna break me, and whether it's successful or not, I need that as a creative to just like go to sleep at night and not lose my mind.
Well, I also think, these days we're seeing brands also tap into different niches, whether it's, whether it's a beauty brand doing a Super Bowl content, or whether 100%. It's, like music and they're doing something tied with food, like, 100%. And like music and all these different, the crossroads, which I think is really cool because again, it goes back to being a creative and having that freedom to try and do whatever you want. Because I think what you said is really important. When you niche down so much, you almost put yourself in such a box that you lose that creative freedom. And then you kind of lose all the different avenues that you can go 100%. Down. And I think, the fact that you can do hair, you could do music, you could do anything, and just also showing up as yourself is great. And also, I watched your New York vlog. Your vlogs are even good. Your editing, I was like, oh shit, this is great. Like, thank you. I know those videos take forever to create. So hats off to you on that. That's amazing.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
If for someone who is aspiring to be a content creator, maybe the 9 to 5 to them is just feeling like they're feeling a little burnt out from that, what would be something that you would recommend or give some advice to for somebody that wants to maybe take that turn into content?
You can't take the blueprint from somebody else. Like some people have that crazy textbook story of like, oh, they ran into somebody in a coffee shop that changed their life. Realistically, it is an avenue, it's a possibility, but it's also everybody wants to be a creator now. And so it's doable. But I think for me, as somebody who like worked at a 9 to 5, and I stayed way longer than I had to out of fear of the time. And honestly, I'm so thankful that I didn't get big headed or didn't get overly anxious, and I like stacked up a bunch of money just to make sure, because especially with me having that product, like had I have left earlier than I did, it's like all the money I made from content, from the second I made money, I stayed at my job for like 2 more years. And I had like a year and a half of that where I was making more from content than that. But in my head, I was like, pay bills with work. And then I can just reinvest all this back into itself. And I think that gave me a crazy head start. And so I know a lot of people think of it as like, oh, I hate this job, I'm trying to hurry up and leave. And it's like, you still have to have some form of patience, because at the end of the day, it is a skill, it is a talent, it is something, it's a muscle. Creativeness is a muscle. So I think finding that thing that you can do and not lose your brain. You know what I mean?
No, it's true.
And just having that stable source of income, and like not being too anxious, because I feel like most of the people who are the most successful didn't get into it with money in mind. But now that it's like more of a thing, like I said, there's like you hear the case study and you want to go replicate it, but it's like if you do it with money in mind, like you're going to burn out before you even get a chance.
Oh, it's so true, because I feel like the minute that you're just chasing the dollar sign, I mean, this business is ever changing. Like not only just content is changing every day, trends are changing every day, 100%. Music is changing every day. The influencer agencies are changing. I mean, it's constantly. So not having that why of why you're 100%. Truly doing what you're doing, if you don't have that to your core, you'll end up, you'll be cooked. You'll be cooked. It's like you'll experience burnout. I've been working on this craft for years now. I went to art school in San Francisco.
Fire, I love that.
when I was like 18. And from there, learned photography, Photoshop, everything self-taught, kind of like you, self-taught on YouTube. I just like hopped on. I was like, I can learn this, right? Yeah, YouTube University. And you can learn everything, but it takes time,
100%.
This, on airplane mode, it's been 4.5 years now, right? Almost, I would say almost 5 years now.
Yeah, it feels like a blink of an eye, right?
Which is crazy. Yeah, it's insane, right? And so it takes time. I think, again, people just always see the finished product and they think that overnight successes. But a lot of people don't realize, and they say that overnight successes always take about 10 years.
Yeah,
right?
100%. And that's just the part that the outside gets to see is the blow up.
Right, is the blow up, and which is great and it's amazing. But like I've been doing creative, having some kind of creative background for over 10, 12 years. And sounds like you as well. Like you've been doing this since you were like 16, you said, right? And with your friends. And I think that is something to remember. Like you have to really stay true to your core. But that's so cool that you've done all different types of things and always branching out. And speaking of, that's what I want to talk to you about next, because you've also done reality TV. Which is crazy.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Dibbled and dabbled.
Right. So for people who don't know, Ashamad was actually on 2 different series on Amazon Prime. You were on Buy It Now and Beast Games recently. Beast Games was fire.
Beast Games was insane. Yeah. Did you finish it?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Fire.
Like we were watching like 6 hours a night. Like I need to watch all of it. Just it was great. How did that audition happen? How did that process come about?
So like I willed Beast Games. So like first of all, when we touched set, when we started shooting in Vegas, and we shot Mr. Beast rented out Allegiant Stadium. The second I walked in, I started bawling, crying, and it was like I'm not a crier, like not even like because of a pride issue, like. That's just not me. But the second I walked in there, it was like everything hit me. So that one specifically was insane just because he's the biggest creator in the world. And so like, I don't care if I was sweeping the floors and there I was like, wow, like I'm a part of a Mr. Beast production. From the second I saw that he was announcing it, he announced it on the Colin Samir podcast that he was going to do it. And I was like, oh, I don't know I was like reading through comments, like where's the applications? Literally like willed it all the way around and just like dug the internet, Google search, like, and then funny enough, I kind of gave up and chilled, and then it kind of just came to me.
It's like manifesting.
We're a cat. Right. Funny enough, I like lost my mind for it, couldn't find any information, and then like 6 months went by. He like didn't really say anything else about it. And then I actually got like an email, and it was like, hey, we're casting for this, blah blah. And I was like, okay, huh. Like that's universe wild. Works in crazy ways.
No, that's crazy. I mean, I was watching the episode and we spotted you. I was like, oh my God, wait, is that Ashamad? It was right after we had met you and I did my bump move and everything. Insane. And what about the other show that you were on? That was a totally different experience.
So the other show, funny enough, was a business show. And I actually had auditioned for Shark Tank. Got all the way to like the end to where like I in my head I was like, oh, I'm gonna be on it. Like, okay, cool.
For sure.
But, like we're filming around this time. Got cut. From that, and then funny enough, again, just the way the universe works was like heartbroken. Like I thought Shark Tank was gonna be like my like I made it moment. Was like slightly crushed from that, but then shortly later, Amazon Prime came around like, hey, we're doing like a new show, season 1. We want you on it, which was super amazing. Cool. So I'm actually on like episode 1, season 1 of that. So
that's amazing.
That's like kind of another thing that's cool. Like however long that show goes on, like I'm like, hey, founding father though.
I mean, I do think that's kind of the beautiful thing about life in its way, where it's like you might not see the big picture yet, but everything's kind of working for you. And 100%. And also, as you mentioned, putting that intention out there and just really trusting, again, your core values, your why, knowing that, oh, like this is what I want to do. And you attracted it, right? Like the Mr. Beast like situation.
I would have lost my mind if I didn't get on that show. Like I was like, I don't know how it's gonna happen.
It's kind of like just putting the intention out there and just letting it happen. I think that's crazy because it was 1,000 people, right?
Yes.
How many was it? 1,000 people.
So there was actually 2,000 people in Vegas.
2,000. Okay.
And they didn't really talk about it much on the Amazon show, but pretty much he had like a 0 episode on his YouTube channel. And so there's 2,000 of us and we were in Allegiant Stadium for 4 days. And then they chopped down to 1,000. And so that 1,000 was like, okay, now you're not on his YouTube. You graduated to like the Amazon show. And they flew us to Toronto. So then there was 1,000 people in Toronto. Then I think they cut down to 60. And from 60, they went to Panama. And then from Panama, they went back to Toronto for the final like 10.
Do you want to pursue more reality TV in the future? If you could have like a perfect TV show we're going to manifest it, put it right here, right now. What would it be? Like, what would you want to do?
I feel like ideally probably scripted if I could have it my way. Okay. I feel like I'd want to get into character. I mean, reality's cool. Like, I'd be open to it and down for it.
Okay.
But again, I wouldn't want to limit myself. Like, it's like easy to like just talk on camera, but I'm like, I'd want to see like a role or like playing a different version of myself for a different character. But yeah, I'd be open to anything if it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know if I'd do like some of the more messy ones, you know what I mean? But for sure, I mean, if it made sense, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I took my first ever acting classes last year. Very LA, I know, very Los Angeles, but I was like, I'm doing it. Yeah. Honestly, I went into it being like, this is going to be easy. I'm going to teach myself how to cry, right? I'm going to teach myself. No, that shit actually was therapy. Like, actually therapy, to the point where I was like, acting changed my entire perspective on life. Like, the way that you're taught how to act is actually you're taking who you are to your every being and putting yourself into every character, which was crazy. Wow, and so, like, not only that, but acting classes taught me how to do a little bit more on camera and feel more confident. So it's 100%. Not even just like acting itself, but you're actually taking on this different persona 100%. And this confidence. Would you ever do acting? Would you ever do like a movie, TV?
That's like honestly one of my things. Like, when I think of like people, I like the way that they came up or that really inspired me. It's like a Will Smith where it's like he won a Grammy, won a crazy Emmy. The moment we'll never forget. But like he's done so much in so many different fields, and that's really cool to me. And that's like one of those things where I look to people like that of like a reminder of like, cool, no matter how much people try and put me in a box, I know that like I don't have to pick one thing. So I want to do everything, acting, music, like I always throw around this fishing series. Like, I fished like twice as a kid. I want to do a fishing series. I want to do anything and everything. Like, again, just being a creator, it's like I'm down for like whatever challenge within moral reason. Like,
I also just feel life is so short, right? I mean, I truly, everyone's like, what do you want to do when you get older? I'm like, I want to do everything. I know that sounds selfish, but I do. I just want to try everything once or twice. And if I like it, keep doing it. If I don't like it, it's cool. I tried it. But I feel like, I don't know, like not every single day is promised. So trying everything that you can every single day and doing something different. Maybe you like fishing, maybe you don't. But there's also like 57 types of fishing. So who knows? Maybe you like fly fishing.
Why do we both hit fly fishing? That's the move.
Oh my God, maybe we get a TV show where we're fly fishing. That's my move. I knew you were gonna say that. I would love to talk a little bit about mental health and how you keep from burning out, you know, with all these ideas and all these different forms of content that you're taking on. What are some ways that you avoid burnout?
I'm going to give you my politically correct answer, and then I'll give you my realistic.
Okay.
Politically correct, batch record.
Okay.
Have a schedule.
Okay.
Do all the things you should do. Now, realistically, does anybody do that perfectly to a T? No.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly, I like grind till I burn out, get close to losing my mind, and then I just have to go back to those things that I love. So like right now for me, streaming is like the grounded thing where like I don't care what my results are. When I do stream, luckily it has been like pretty good, you know what I mean, so far, especially for how long I've been doing it. But that's my thing where I'm just like, I'm not gonna like worry about monetizing it. I'm not gonna worry about the things that take the love away from it. And that's just like my thing that I kill joy off on, or even like going to the gym, like reminding myself, because I've always been an active person, grew up playing football, running track, but as you get busy and like you get older, like you forget those things. I'm like, I used to go to the gym on the weekend and hoop for hours. I would play basketball, and it's like you get older and you forget those things. And so I feel like just getting back to like, what do you like to do, and then just experiencing things, and like you said, like really wanting to connect with people, like that's a big thing that I've been on lately, of like especially like family, friends. It's like you get so caught up in like, I need to do this. It's like, bro, if I die tomorrow, like none of that matters.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's so true. It's I was telling you a little bit before that last year, at the end of the last year, I had like one of my worst burnouts. I don't know what happened, where it was one of the best years ever. Honestly, one of the best years ever. I'm so grateful for every opportunity. There's so much that happened. It was beautiful. But at the end of last year, like it was just all caught up to me. And it was just a lot creatively. I felt drained. I felt like I had lost a lot of motivation. And I think that to your point, I had to really reground myself. So that was part of why I was like, let me be in Los Angeles. Let me spend time with people that I really care about. And like really build on the connections of people that I loved meeting with. 100%. And like, that's why I loved hanging out with you, is like also being around people who make me feel like more positive, more powerful. And it really, you have to sometimes really put a needle in the tire, air it out, and be like, I need to sit for a minute. And I think that's okay. It's hard to do that though. Because I mean,
100%.
When you're creative, I feel like you're just always thinking of new ideas of things to do, but sometimes it's good to like hit that reset button.
Absolutely.
Do you ever deal with backlash or criticism through your work? Or
so you mentioned it earlier in my videos. It's kind of funny. I'm a troll. Like, I love to troll. Like, I love to get kicks out of people.
Yeah? Okay,
I love to joke. Like, that's just my personality.
Yeah.
I think some people probably love it for me. Some people might get turned off by it, but fair is fair. But so that being said, like, when I do my custom hats, I literally say, like, is it fire or is it trash? And at the end of the video, I throw it in the garbage can.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's almost to me of, like, a joke of, like, when people would say, like, bro, this hat sucks, it's trash. I'm like, well, good thing I threw it away.
Yeah.
So it's, like, that's kind of, like, my kick of, like,
right.
I feel like, not really. I mean, everybody gets things. One thing I'll say on that note that is kind of funny is it's like the comments that quote unquote hurt or that hit are the ones that are true.
Yeah.
And so like if somebody's like, that hat sucks, that hat's trash, and I'm like, if I like the hat, I like it. Or same thing with music. I'm like, if I like this song, you tell me it's trash, I'm like, well, like, kick rocks. Yeah. But I think the one that does is like, it'll be random stuff, and it's not like it hurts you to your core, but like you'd be a liar to say that it's not like something that sits on your conscience. So like for me, like I have thick eyebrows, like I've got plenty of compliments on it, but I'll get like one random comments like, why is bro eyebrows so big? And it's like, it's not like it hurts me, but I'm like, well, damn, like, did you like the video? Like, I edited this for 10 hours, my eyebrows, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's those small things.
No, for sure.
Personality wise, I feel like I am pretty thick skinned.
Okay.
But again, like, you'd be a lie to say nothing ever gets to, you know what I mean?
But you're so right when it comes to backlash. People will find, there's going to be somebody that says something about every video. Yeah. I've fostered puppies before, and people are like, how dare you take those puppies from the shelter? I was like, why are you mad about the puppies?
From me?
Do you want the puppies? Listen, people have something to say, and I think that staying true to who you are and being like, you know what, I'm going to let that person just, you know. I've also just now, if I ever get somebody do that, now I'll see other people stick up for me in the comments.
Fire, that's the best.
And I'm like, I'm just out. You're building the engagement. You're building my engagement. Y'all can fight 100%. It out. I'm out. Like, but there are some comments where people be like, point something out about myself that I've never noticed before. Like, or I got like chicken legs or something. I'll be like in the mirror afterwards, like, do I have chicken legs?
My whole life, and I'm just now finding this out.
Maybe I should go to the gym. And, you know, I always skip leg day. That's probably why. But, you know, it's true, though. I mean,
sometimes
I think we all
for
do
better, I think, too, though. Because, like, the other day when I was on stream, somebody was like, obviously they're like exaggerating. They're like, bro seems cool, but like I think he has like ADHD or something. And I like he said that, and at first I was like, what the heck? Which I'm like, okay, I do have ADHD. What do you want from me? Right. Then I thought about it. I'm like, okay, consciously, maybe I should slow down a little bit. Like I could take that two ways. Either I could like take it to heart and be hurt, or I'd be like, okay, he worded it in a way that like I probably would have said something not positive if he said it to me in person. Right. But I'm like, okay, but realistically, like maybe I should slow down. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But also, 99.9% of the people that follow you love how that part of you, right? And I think just remembering that there's probably going to be somebody that says something negative, but then you're going to have so many other people who love 100%. You absolutely. And it's not just being a creator too. I feel like every industry, every business that you work in, you know, you could be working customer service and someone calls you and bitches 100%. You out on the phone, and it carries with you, right? Yeah. And I think that sometimes people don't realize that when they're leaving negative comments on social media, they're talking to real people. Yeah. Like, these are real people with real emotions and like things that they could impact, you know, that sticks with you sometimes. Yeah. What's love life like whenever you're trying to balance creating all the time and you got all these things going on, you're at reality TV, you're all over the place. What's the love life like? Fill us in on details.
Man. So love life right now for me at 27 years old in 2025, I love what I do to death. And I think I'm in a phase, I'm in a phase right now where in order to love somebody else, I need to love what I have and what I'm doing, which I do love. But there's a certain fulfillment that I need out of my career that I feel like to bring somebody else into that right now, I would be shortchanging them. Okay. And I've only been in 2 relationships in my life, both like very long ones. And so I am a lover boy at heart. But in this space, I'm just like, I know myself. And again, just to be fair to like the woman on the other side of that engagement, I'm just like, I found myself in 2025 just like, okay, I know what I want. This is the most I've ever known of like what I'm doing. I know how my business works. Right. I know what I want to do. I have like, it's not like I'm dreaming about things. If I want to do something, I have direct lines to make it happen or to build towards it at least. And so right now I'm in that phase of like, I know I'm a lover boy at heart, but it's like, bro, sit down. Like, you know, I don't want to say I don't have time for it right now, but just thinking consciously, I'm like, I want to respect that other person to know, like, I don't know if I might seem nice. You might want me. You might think this is a good idea, but me being fully transparent, like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. I think that's like something very respectful, because I think sometimes a lot of people get into relationships because, I mean, we're all, to a certain degree, lover boys, lover girls, right? Yeah. Like we're all, I mean, speaking for myself, I'm a hopeless romantic, so I totally understand that. But I think sometimes when you get into relationships and your focuses are elsewhere, then that, like you said, that person doesn't feel seen or heard. And I also know you're probably the type of person that would go overboard, like making sure that they are good, and then shortchange yourself, right?
And that's the killer. Wow, you is this Dr. Phil or is this she has baggage? Like,
she got baggage,
and that part, and that's like a bad situation to be in, because it's like you don't want to hurt yourself, you don't want to hurt that other person. So and I don't know. It sounds corny to be like, oh, I'm being selfish and like taking care of myself, but just realistically, I just know what I want out of life, and more than anything right now, like I want to create. And at some point, I know a beautiful young lady. We'll see that. Hopefully she's watching this now. But hey, man, but until then, I'm just like, I have to focus on what I love. And I think naturally, too, when you try to force things, you end up in the wrong situation. It's like, if you continue to do what you love and chase your passion, the person that's supposed to fit in that will come along. And I've had 2 beautiful relationships, like one 5 years, one 8 years, crazy enough.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I have like so much love and respect for those 2 women, and like they taught me so much. One I was really young, one I was older, and you know what I mean? I learned so much from those 2 people, and just taking that energy into what I do and just learning to know yourself. And like, I think with me, it's like I was in a relationship so young, like all throughout high school I was in a relationship. Was single for like a couple years, then got in another long-term relationship. So it was like from the ages of like 15 to 26, 26, rolling into 27. It's like I was in a relationship. So I kind of caught myself like, whoa, I've never been single and had a car at the same time. I've never, like, you know what I mean? I just start thinking of those like crazy nuances of like, you know what I mean? I'm 27. I'm at this point of like, okay, let me just sit down. I have this like crazy, let me just not get caught up in a moment of lust, or let me not get caught up in a moment of like, I feel a little slightly lonely right now. Maybe I do need someone. It's like, no, like, let me handle what I need to handle, be good on my own.
That's good.
I think that's like the best thing I could do is just like love myself, figure myself out. Cause it's like, how can you give somebody something that you can't supply for yourself?
That's, I mean, period. That's so well said. And I think sometimes, you know, loneliness can feel overwhelming, and a lot of times 100%. That's triggered from like abandonment. For myself, like I have my own abandonment issues where it's like triggers loneliness or whatever that might be, but then like regrounding yourself with your support group, and whether that's your friends and everything like that, I think that's so important. How do you find balance with your friends then? Is that something that is an ever going thing, or is that still something that, you know, you find difficulty with? Because that's, for me, that was part of my burnout last year, was how do I make more time for the people I care about? I'm the type of person where people message me and I'll read it, I'll respond in my head, and then I'll forget to respond. And then it's been a month and I'm like, shit, I can't how am I going to like respond to them now? You know, and I really want to get better about that. So what's your kind of like go-to for that?
The main thing that I've done is just like including people in what I'm doing. Again, like content is so freeing. Like you brought up my nephews being in my video. Like literally it's like, my nephew is like in town for the weekend or whatever, and I'm like, yo, bro, I gotta work, but like, guess what? I gotta do this hat video. Like, bro, you're about to be in this hat video.
That's awesome.
And even so, like, I truly do feel like it's like, I grew up a gamer, so like he literally found like a glitch in the universe of like, how do we get to post videos? How do we get to make things and make money from it? It's like insane. So for me, like I tell all my friends, and I tell them like, look, I know I'm biased. I know I'm telling all you guys to be creators, but like you said, you can make content about anything. I'm like, bro, you can't tell me it doesn't make sense for you to be a creator. If you want to be an actor, having a following will only benefit you. It can't help you.
These days,
again, if you want to start a business, content can help your business. I have to go to this TikTok event, but you know, we get plus ones and certain things. Come with me. Like that's how I've tried to do it.
That's great.
Maybe that's not the best way long term, but
no, I love
that's
that.
how I've made sense of it.
And I think, you know, one of the parts to that is something that I'm working on constantly is like rejection therapy. Like it's really hard for me to feel rejected. So sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to ask people to do a collaboration because I'm like, what if they're like, no, I don't want that. So even doing this podcast, I was like, I have to email people and they might say no. And I'm like, oh my God, but they haven't yet, which is really cool, you know? And I feel like that is validating in itself, but it's also just remembering that you have the confidence to create those relationships and ask people, hey, do you want to do something creative together and have some fun with that? And I feel like more likely people are down because a lot of ways too, you know, what you had mentioned, the way that our society's kind of built up is where it almost suppresses your creativity, right? You're supposed to go to work 8 hours a day. Some people stay in a little area, right? They do 5 days a week to enjoy 2 days off. Some people only get like 2 weeks off a year. And so that really just suppresses your creativity in a lot of ways. So even if you're able to create like some creative, hobby outside of that, it's also just going to help you find a little bit more joy from day to day. I don't know. I think that's everything you said was like spot on.
I hate to get too deep, but the way that I kind of broke it down, even when I like talk to my friends who are hesitant, they're like, oh, I don't like being on camera. They're like, oh yeah, you're doing content now, but you did music and you were on stage, so it's different. And I'm like, when I break it down, to me, it's like, and I understand that being a creator, making content, being on camera, it truly is not for everyone.
True.
But in my mind, I'm like, what is the purpose of life? It's like, it's like you work to make money to, like you said, enjoy 2 days off. And that's fine. If people are comfortable with that, then so be it. But it's like, okay, but what happens if you want $100 million? Like, what do you do with your life? Like, all you're going to do is use that money to go do the things you love to do. So I'm like, why wait for $100 million? Like, maybe I can't do the $100 million thing I want to do right now, but like, there's got to be some $5, $20, $100,000 things that I want to do. And like, why, like you said, suppress that? It's like crazy to think about. And I almost feel like us as creators, like when we do connect, it's almost that moment of like, whoa, like you get it. Like, like everything is a lie. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy. It's like you create the life you want to live in the realest way. And like, I just feel like we're so blessed to not be born in like 1880 something with like candlesticks. I'm just like, thank God we lived through ChatGPT, Pokemon, anime, insanity, like insanity.
That's hilarious.
We're literally birthed in the best time period, in my opinion.
Yeah, honestly, when you said earlier that you play video games, I'm the Sims kind of girly, but I play Sims too.
That's fire.
I love the Sims, but I say all the time that I'm like, this feels like a cheat code. I feel like I cheat coded my life where I get to like go and hang out. I get to travel for a living. I get to do what I love to do. But you also said something that made me think about it too. My journey with travel was I always saw my grandmother. She saved her entire life to go travel when she retired.
Fire.
She saved her whole life. She worked, like I said, the five days a week, 2 days off, but constantly worked. And her and her husband were planning on traveling when they retired. That was it. She unfortunately got breast cancer and she passed away. And as messed up as it is, this sounds terrible, but he ended up remarrying and then they went traveling together with that savings money that she saved for her whole life. That she wanted to do. She had a dream of traveling, but unfortunately she never got a chance to do so because she waited, right? And I always remember this as a kid because I was just like, now someone else is using your money to go and travel to do the dream that you wanted to do. And I was like, fuck that. Like, no, we really are only guaranteed, like, I know this is like getting deep, but I guess that's the idea of the podcast is like, we really are only guaranteed this exact moment. So it's like, I always told myself, if I'm going to travel, I'm going to go do it. And I think doors always open themselves up for you that way too. And I don't know. Yeah.
It's all facts.
We are all kind of living in this giant simulation anyways. You might as well have a little fun with it.
And I think that's something to think about too. Like even on the topic of burnout, it's like, okay, so we have all these aspirations. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to win this award. I want this many subscribers, this many followers. Then what? Because I think that's even like a depression, downfall that not everybody gets to, but for the ones that do get to that point of like when you do accomplish everyone, the top 1%, it's like, what is the joy of life? It's like you buy every car.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're into women, you experience every type of woman you want. If you're into whatever you're into, food, travel, like it's like, even you guys, I'm sure you guys are probably like we've been a lot of places. You're like, what's really even exciting to travel to anymore?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so I think that's something to think about too. Like what is enough or like what is like happiness, like, because you chase this thing and then you get it and then what? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And ideally we all want to live long, healthy lives. And so I think like you got to have that purpose. And like one of the big quotes that always stick with me is like, nobody that's rich doesn't work. Like we always have this thing of like, I'm just trying to like run up this bread and like I'm trying to make X amount of money. I'm gonna just be on an island chilling. It's like realistically, you're gonna do that for however long. And then it's just like, what am I doing? Like you know what I mean?
Because then eventually the island will get boring.
There's no purpose. Yeah, the island will get boring or whatever it is.
You're gonna want 2 islands or 3. You know what I mean? It's just like that. It's
100%.
that never ending cycle of what is enough. But I think Yeah, it's like you said, going back to the people that you love, the support group that you love, the passion that you have.
Yeah, life's about relationships.
That's truly what it is, right? I mean, at the end of the day, everything else is materialistic. So it's like what really brings you joy. And that's kind of the whole point, right? Yeah. That's why for me, I was like, I want to honestly live every single day trying to do what I love to do.
Yeah.
And that's hard sometimes. Obviously, you get wrapped up in like the schedules and stuff. But for the most part, we really get to do what we want to do. Crazy, and I think that's kind of the beautiful thing about it. Yeah. So I want to do some funsy questions. Just some funsy questions. When people watch your content, what is the number one thing you want them to take away from that?
When people watch my content, what's the number one thing you want them to take away? I think, so I've been working on my elevator pitch because I do so much stuff. Okay. People are like, what do you do? I'm like, well, I'm a hat guy, I do music, I stream, I do this, I do skits, I do that. So I think the box that I hate boxes, but if I had to put myself in a box, it's like DIY fashion curator. Ooh. So it's like, I think when people watch my content, the main thing I want them to think is like DIY. Like, I am not a spectacular human. Like, I'm 5'11". I'm not crazy tall. I'm not crazy strong. Like, I don't think I'm crazy attractive or crazy this or crazy that in any one direction. And so it's like, I just want people to know that like they can do it too. And I think that's what a big part of my content is the fact that like when I make stuff, I show the process.
Okay, yeah.
I think people, it like feels tangible. Yeah. So I think I want people to know that they could just do anything that I'm doing because it is like DIY is a big part of it. And then also just not being scared, just like fearlessness of like, I think the risks that I take and the things that I do, people can see that. And even if they do say a stupid comment like, oh, like, why is he doing this? Or like, I'll be on stream, people are like, oh, bro, don't quit your day job. And it's like, this is my day job.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I already did it.
Yeah, and so it's like, and so it's like that thing of like, I hope people watch my content and whether they hate me or love me, they're just like, this guy is like unapologetically himself and he's empowering other people to do it. And that's like a big part of my process too, whether it's like my friends, my nephews, like I'm like, to as many people as I can share this like gift to, I'm like, this internet thing is like not fair. And the fact that people don't know, I'm like, if you knew what I knew, you'd be losing your mind. And I don't even know everything. I'm still looking for the information, but just like empowering people to just do what you love. And again, it's like, don't get caught up of this thing of like, you're supposed to do A, B, C, and you end up at D. It's like, you can do whatever you want. If you want to be on a beach in Hawaii, that's not the life for me, but like if that's you, say less. Like when we going surfing. Like,
no, I love that. I love that. And I think that that's also, again, I'll say it for the third time, that I feel like you truly do radiate that positivity. I appreciate that. And I feel like even me being around you, it makes me motivated. Like I'm like, all right, what am I going to do after this? Am I going to go, I want to create something. I want to go and draw something. You know, I like to draw, but I don't share it often. But like, I don't know, just being around people that really radiate that empowerment. And that's something you absolutely do for sure. If there's a brand or a creator or a celebrity that you would like your ultimate dream, what would that be?
So one of them unfortunately can't happen. It would have been Virgil Abloh.
Okay.
He unfortunately passed. Now, a brand or a person. I mean, there's so many people. If I had to pick, like, I gotta do three. I don't know if I could do one, right? I would say like Pharrell would be like a fire one because again, somebody who's like been successful in multiple mediums. It's like he was amazing in the music space. He's dabbled with acting. Now he's literally the head of men's Louis Vuitton fashion. Yeah. So someone with me that's just super well rounded. Like, I think I could say with Pharrell. I'll say Pharrell.
Looking back, what advice would you give young Ashamad?
I probably wouldn't tell him anything. I'd probably just dap him up, give him a hug, and be like, bro, life is going to suck. Life is going to be good, but you'll be straight. Yeah. Because it's like, like some things you can't prepare for. Like, how do you prepare for death? You can't. It's like, we know, like, everybody that we love is going to die. And it's either we die first or they die first. And it's like, we know that, but at the same time, when it happens, it's like, how did this happen? What went wrong? You know what I mean? It's like kind of like dark to think about, but it's like there's certain things you just can't prepare for. And again, I think just like learning yourself and just like becoming emotionally and mentally like intelligent and just understanding people and like relationship. It sounds corny. Like I don't want to sound like I have it all figured out because like I'm a mess.
Sometimes I'll be sitting there and I'll be like daydreaming about something and I'll be like, am I fucking weird because I think about how all of us is not going to be here in 200 years. Like there's going to be new people living in your apartment. Your job is not going to, someone else is going to be, living in your apartment. We're all going to die. Isn't that crazy? I think about that sometimes. I'm like, am I weird? Am I like really vulgar for saying that? But also it's the truth. But that's what it's like that fuels my ass to keep going because it's like, why not? Like, what else are we doing here? You know what I mean?
100%.
No, that's amazing. Well,
it's deep, but but it's like,
it's true.
It's like, you can't really prepare for a lot of stuff. It's just.
For sure. I really appreciate you coming on. This has just been incredible. It's also, I love talking to you. I could just keep going for days and days.
Thanks for bumping into me. I'm glad. That's comedy. That's so funny. I
didn't know that we would,
I had to tell my friend Ben that was there that day, because we were in the car, like, driving back. We're like, yo, that's wild. She's like bumped into us. They're like mad cool. Like, yo, what's up with that? And so it's still cool, but I got to tell, like, bro, that was a setup. It was all staged.
To be fair, I've done the bump on people, and they're just like so boring. Do you know what I mean? Where the energy doesn't line up. So
that was a positive experiment.
You were, yeah. Because some people you're like, oh, hi.
That's why I'm taking that. I'm taking that.
And some people you're like, oh, they're a dud. Like that conversation just ended. But us, we all like connected right away, and it was just like the conversation.
You got to do a content series with that. That'd be funny to be like, hey, I'm about to bump into this person and just see where the conversation goes.
That's a good point.
That'd be super fire.
We should just start it. Like,
run it.
Why not?
Let's do it. What are we doing after this now?
Yeah, right. Well, can you share how everyone can find you all across all the social channels?
Yeah, for sure.
And where they can tune in on you and follow your journey.
Yeah, for sure. So it's Notx Ashamad, NOTX ASHAMAD, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Twitch. There's so many social media platforms. Boom. Yeah. And anything else that populates. If you want to know if I'm on it, just search Notx Ashamad.
And that's a wrap on this episode of She Comes With Baggage. If you love this conversation, please make sure to follow She Comes With Baggage on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube for more content and behind the scenes moments. And if you're tuning in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other audio platform, don't forget to leave a review. I love hearing from you. Your support helps keep these conversations going. And just remember, if you are carrying any baggage, you're not alone, and we're all more alike than we might think. See you soon.